I lost $30,000 in 1 week at the start of this month. This was the most amount of money I've ever lost in 1 week this year. And it hit me really hard. But here's the crazy part. I still made $58,000. Now this is the kind of month that really humbles you if you did it. Most traders tend to break down after a few losses. You know, they get into these emotional states where they make a bunch of bad decisions, take a bunch of bad low quality trade setups and just spiral down into these states where they are just constantly trading for the sake of making back the money that they have lost. And trust me, I almost went down that spiral as well. But instead, I remained calm and collected in the midst of the chaos. So in this video, I'm showing you exactly how I bounced back, the real statistics, the live trade breakdowns, and the brutal mindset shift that changed everything for me. So if you've ever been in a drawdown or in a losing streak, or you're just simply unprofitable, this video is perfect for you. Now before we dive in, I just want to say this. This month is also the reason why I'm building Edgeflow, the trader's super app that I wish I had during months just like this. Now, I'll share more information at the end, but if you're the kind of trader who knows that discipline is your biggest edge, you will definitely want to join the waitlist. So here's what the stats look like this month in June. I took a total of 5 trades, I lost 3 and I won 2, which gave me like a 40% win rate, and in total I made about 1.5 R. So you can see in the first week alone, I lost 3 R, right? That was like $30,000 wiped out just like this. And after taking the third loss in a row, I realized that I have to stop and reevaluate the situation and really think about what went wrong. Now with that said, let me just show you the live trade recordings first. So let's time travel back to 3rd June, the first trading day of this month where I lost my first $10,000. Yo, price is surging right now, bro. I'm telling you, the London session is just gonna cause price to go up even higher. Right now, we're still 1 hour away from London session, right? So we're getting a little bit of volatility, but this is just pre-London shit. You know, later London session is gonna come in and shake things up, and we can expect price to just skyrocket to my TP very fast. Right, but based on this, pretty decent entry. Actually not a pretty decent entry. The entry genuinely can't get better than that. Like, holy shit, how do you make an entry better than that? Alright, real talk guys. So right now we're up about 3.5k at the moment. I'm just gonna leave it to set and forget as usual. Just gonna hit to the gym right now. Yo, looks like this one went straight to the stop loss. God damn it. Straight to the gutter. Remember, at the start of the trading day itself, I said that price was gonna come down and liquidate the strong low before the real move actually happens. But guess what? I wasn't patient enough to wait for that to happen. Not gonna lie guys, I kinda deserve that loss. This is that one loss where I take full responsibility of, purely because of the fact that I wasn't patient enough. I was just acting on impulse. Like the plan says that I was supposed to get in after price liquidate the strong low. And if that actually happened, I would have made easy 90k right here. But guess what? I lost my shit, entered too early because, oh, there's a fractal market ship. Shut up, bro. Come on, man. Come on, Brad. Quick announcement before I move to the next step. The price for the 1% club is doubling very soon. We are doing this because demand has absolutely exploded. Maybe because of the fact that we are the only program with such an insane guarantee, and also we have thousands of student results. And we are also going to be upgrading the entire program, which means more coaching, more advanced trading systems and entry models, in-person retreats, and support. So if you've ever been sitting on the fence, this is your final chance to lock in at the current price. After next week, it's gone. And bear in mind, we only have 8 slots left for this intake itself. So if you're serious about becoming a consistently profitable 6-figure funded trader in the next 6 to 12 months, guaranteed, click the first link in bio and apply right now before the doors close. And let's go back to the video. Now for this trade itself, to be honest, I wasn't patient. I jumped in before my proven entry model has formed. Right, at first I was waiting for price to liquidate the strong low and then make my entry from there. But I got impatient and I traded on impulse and I started entering recklessly, and that's just like a classic rookie mistake, right? So I believe it could be due to some form of complacency that I've built up since I've made like a shit ton of money last month, right? So this month I didn't really like review my plan on the first day itself, right? So I knew what I was looking out for, but at the same time, the urge to make money just overwhelmed my tendency to actually execute my trade plan properly. So as a result, I just, just got in because I feel like it, because my gut feeling is telling me to do so instead of following my mechanical trading plan. Now, before I talk about how to deal with losses just like this, let's move on to the next trade where I lost another 10k. I'm entering for a sell right here. What happened was that just now price went up there and swept all the available liquidity that we have above these highs right here. So now I'm in the trade right now. I'm placing my stop loss potentially just above this upper wick right here. And I'm targeting this demand zone right here. This could, boom, there we go. Straight to the TP. Straight to the TP, baby. Ka-ching. Yo, let's go, boys. Let's go. We are so back. So right now, at the moment, we're up about 7k. As you can see right here, 7.4k-ish. I can feel the cash coming into my bank account right now. Ka-ching! So right now, we're up about 24k. Right, nothing too crazy. Just another average day in the life of Brett Go. 23k at the moment, not too shabby. There we go. Damn, we are so close. Alright guys, you know what? If this trade does not hit TP, I'm gonna shave off my head, alright? I'm gonna shave off this majestic head I have right here. I'm gonna shave it all off and just go monk mode. Oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. We were so close to hitting TP. We were like literally a few pips away, and then news came out and then price shot up to the moon. Well, I guess a promise is a promise, right? Fuck that shit, bro. I ain't going bald again, guys. Like, I literally just grow my hair out after being bald for like 1 year, alright? So, psych, I'm not going bald again. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. Lost another 10k today. Honestly, I can't even be bad, bro. Like, this is, once again, still 100% my fault. Right, because I actually saw signs that price was actually shifting bullish. After this market shift, I forgot to actually mark up this demand zone right here. And then when I started seeing price coming down here and the selling pressure start fading away, I refused to accept the reality of the market. I refused to accept the objective truth. And I started imposing my buyers thinking that, oh, price is just going to continue crashing. But yeah, I just didn't want to accept it, right? My ego just couldn't accept the fact that I was wrong. Okay, this one was all about ego and pride. I wasn't trading the charts. I wasn't trading what the market is showing me. I was trading my emotions. Because I lost the first 10k and I publicly documented it on my second channel, now I felt there was like this subconscious need to prove to everybody, prove to my followers that I'm actually a good trader, right? So as a result, I was just once again not really thinking through it rationally before I enter for the trade itself. And another thing was that I was just actively trying to make back the first 10k that I've lost, right? So as a result, this was sort of like a revenge trade. This was sort of like a trade where I was just trading to prove something rather than continuously to execute my plan, right? So as you know, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And this trade just proved that. What's up, losing traders? Welcome back to my live trading room. Just kidding. You guys are all winners in my heart, even though you're unprofitable and broke. Alright, anyways, I'm here to help you guys become winners, alright? As you guys can see, we are heavily bearish on the internal order flow right here on GJ. So I was pretty much waiting for price to grab some liquidity before looking for my entry. And later on, price shift all the way up here. Came up here, mitigate this huge order block that we have up here, and swept the available liquidity above this swing high here, and then started giving us a fractal market shift, which signaled that this internal order flow could be shifting back bearish. And then I pretty much just waited for price to mitigate this extreme supply that led to the fractal market shift and liquidate this high right here before making my entry. Forgive my yapping, guys, but the bloody markets is taking way too long to hit my TP. Another day, another L. We literally lost 3 trades in a row. This is the first time in this entire year where we actually got stopped out 3 times. Alright, I'm just gonna not trade for the week anymore, man. Now, after losing this second trade, I decided to review this trade itself, and I realized that the past 2 trades was just bad losses. You know, those were just losses that I incurred because I did not follow my trade plan. So that is when I realized that, you know what, I need to start following my plan. I need to get my shit together. So on the next trade itself, I actually did follow my trading plan. But then, I still lost it. So to me, this loss was a good loss because I found my fractal market shift. I waited for the liquidation to actually happen, right? So I pretty much followed my plan on this trade itself. But as a result, I still incurred a loss. Maybe because of variance, right? Maybe because the conditions of the market were choppy. As we know, classic June behavior. Now, even though it was a good loss, psychologically, I didn't treat it that way. To be honest, at this point, I felt like shit. In the first week of June, I already lost $30,000. My confidence in my abilities started dropping. And not only that, I started losing faith in myself, right? In my ability to execute my plan, right? So at this point of time, I was filled with constant self-doubts. Within my mind, I was just like, oh my God, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Maybe my plan is wrong. Maybe this entry criterion is tweaking. So I pretty much knew that at this point of time, I could either go into that downward spiral of just making a bunch of bad decisions over and over again and losing more money and just losing everything that I've built up to this point, or I can just take a step back and reevaluate the situation. So that's when I decided to go for that option, right? The rational and the logical option. I decided to pause, right? I started reviewing every single trade within my journal. And I really wanted to get down to the point, right? Down to like the root cause of the problems itself. To get brutally honest with myself about what went wrong with all of these trades right here. What got me to this point where I literally lost 3 trades in a row. And that's when the breakthrough came. But before I show you what changed and how I bounced back and ended up making over $58,000 to end of the month, I need to say something that most people won't. Because this isn't just about strategy or setups. It's about pursuing the truth. On this channel, since the very start, my mission has always been the same. To be transparent. To show you not only the wins and the payouts like all these gurus do, but most importantly, the losses. The bad days. The drawdowns. The days where I'm constantly doubting myself. I've been documenting my trades from day one. If you sort my videos out by the oldest, you will even find one where I lost $500. And I was so embarrassed at that point of time. And still, I shared the entire breakdown live. Yep, so that was just like a quick analysis on GJ. Because right now, I really do still think that like price will continue to go down even further to at least this like 159.5 level. I was thinking on whether I should post this video because I actually ended up losing that trade that I just showed you and lost 1% of my capital. I thought of whether I should re-record this episode again to show you a winning trade instead of a losing one. To prove to you that, oh, look at me, I'm a winning trader, hehe. Instead of hiding my losses and my mistakes like a pussy and like all those trading gurus who only show you their wins, I decided to be 100% transparent and unfiltered to you and show you my loss because this is unfiltered trading. I was so stuck on the 1 hour time frame that I actually missed a key support level right here. So yeah, it was 100% my mistake. I'm not gonna blame the market like beginner traders do. It was 100% my mistake. I was careless on this trade. Now the truth is, I just can't lie. It's not in me. The Bible says the Lord detests lying lips, but He delights in those who tell the truth. And that verse has stuck with me ever since I started this trading journey. And it's why I've always shown you the full picture. So yeah, losing isn't new to me, but this month taught me something deeper. Not just about the market, but about myself. Because here's the truth that most traders never realize. It's not your strategy that breaks you. It's how you handle losing. Remember, the best traders aren't the best winners. They're the best losers. The professionals, they don't avoid losses. They have learned to manage them. They have learned to separate their self-worth from their P&L. And in addition to that, they have built systems, psychological and practical, to stay grounded when things go wrong. And that's what you need to do as well. Now, before I talk about how to become a better loser and how to handle losses properly the right way, let's talk about the reality of trading. Let's zoom out for a second here. Let's say today I give you a 70% win rate trading strategy. That means 30 out of your 100 trades will be losses. And that also means that 300 out of 1,000 trades will be losses. And yet most traders crumble after 3 or 4 losses. Why is that the case? It's because you have been conditioned, you have been wired to believe that being wrong is bad. Now back in school, when you failed your test and you flunk your grades, you were considered dumb. And then when you go out into the society and start working, when you make a mistake, your boss punishes you. And then when you actually got married, your spouse blames you whenever you do something wrong and scolds you. So as a result, we are wired to chase being right? We want to be right. Now, in order to succeed at trading, you need to flip that switch around. You need to undergo a paradigm shift. Because in trading, you can be wrong half the time and still get rich if you can manage risk properly and you stay sane through the chaos. So this month, in the first week of trading, I didn't treat it like failure. I just treat it like feedback, right? Because I know for a fact that, I can learn something from these losses. I can extract some key lessons, which is going to make me a better trader ultimately. And then that's going to allow me to improve my skill set and refine my trade plan so that I can get even better and make even more money. And by the way, a lot of these lessons that I'm sharing with you today are drilled into me by my good friend and trading psychology coach inside the 1% Club called Sanjeev Sangha. So I have to give him a lot of credit for the things and the tips that I'm sharing with you today. But anyways, here's how I reframe everything thanks to his guidance. He told me that there are 4 proactive fixes. Number 1 is know your why. Why does losing sting you personally? You want to really dig into it and find out what were, the subconscious forces that cause you to hate losing as an adult, right? Because like what Nietzsche say, he who has a strong why can bear almost any how. If we are sufficiently motivated to do a certain thing, you will do it, right? Which is the same thing right here. You need to think about, why do you hate losing so much? Is it because your mom used to beat you when you were wrong? Because that was my case. Or could it be because, your girlfriend was abusive or your boyfriend was abusive to you whenever you are wrong? So spend some time in solitude with no distractions whatsoever, with a notebook out, and just think about what caused you to hate losing so much. And really find out, the psychological barriers, the subconscious forces that were driving you to actually hate losing. Because once you're able to identify these emotions, these triggers, then you will be able to develop solutions to these problems, right? And one of such solution might be you need to face the demons and just lock eyes with it and confront it instead of keep on running away from it. Because pain is like a mirror. It's just going to keep on coming at you over and over again, and you will always be controlled by it until you decide to confront it. And the next fix will be to set the right expectations. If your win rate is 40%, you can't expect to win 4 trades in a row. It doesn't work like that because there is a random distribution between wins and losses, right? So if your win rate is 40%, it could mean that you're going to win the first trade, lose the next trade, lose the next trade, and then win the first trade, win a third trade, a fourth trade, and then just, overall out of 10 trades, you could potentially win 4, or you might lose all of them, and it's still counted as 40% because this win rate is based on a large sample size of trades. It's based on 100 trades. It's based on 1,000 trades. It's not based on 10 trades alone. And you must ultimately embrace the fact that trading is indeed a probability game. It's not a game of certainty. Number 3 is to respect your risk per trade. If a single trade can wreck your mood and cause your entire day to be sour, your size is too big. If you open a trade and you can't seem to go to sleep without closing it, without worrying about it, without fretting about it, without waking in the middle of night to check on it, your lot size is way too big and you need to reduce it. Once again, you only want to be risking a small portion of your capital, which is not going to hurt you financially and emotionally if you lose it. Because if you are trading with money you can't afford to lose, you are always going to be attached to the outcome. And the key to becoming a successful trader is to detach from the outcome. So if you're constantly attached to the outcome and you're constantly trying to make money, believe it or not, you are actually driving money away. And number 4 is to secure an additional income stream. Because you must understand that pressure kills performance. If you are trading so that you can put food on the table this month, so you can pay the bills this month, once again, you're going to be so attached to the outcome because you need every single trade to win. And if you're trading with that mindset, you are not trading the market already. You're just trading your emotions and what you believe the market will do, rather than being objective and perceive the reality of the market itself. Now, trust me, I'm saying this based on experience because in my first year of trading, when I had less than $500 in my bank account, I would take the entire $500 and put it into my trading account, and I would try to flip it into like $5,000. And as a result, I would take all these bunch of trades. I would start over leveraging and all that shit. And as a result, I lost the entire $500, right? So that's definitely something that you don't want to do, because you don't want to rely on trading as your sole income stream, because the moment you start doing that, you have already lost. Especially if you're still unprofitable and you have a small account. It's a whole different thing when you are consistently profitable like me and you have like a big multi 6 and 7 figures account. In that case, yes, trading can be your sole income stream. But for now, if you're starting out, you have a small account and you're not profitable yet, please do not quit your job, right? You need the additional income stream. Now let's talk about how I bounced back from the massive L. First of all, I stopped trading for 7 full days. Like for an entire week, I did not enter or exit any trade whatsoever. And I just really make sure that I locked all my emotions, trigger, and mistakes for the past 3 losses, and I just started reviewing every single loss. I just spent time reviewing why did I enter on these 3 trades itself, right? What was wrong with the entry? What was wrong with my stop loss or take profit? Or just really looking out for like any sort of emotional patterns that were common during these 3 losses itself. And I managed to do it using my own software, Edgeflow, every single day. I'm telling you, when you start seeing your data stacked up against your emotions, your excuses just disappear. And Edgeflow really helped me face the mirror. Because the truth is, most traders never do that, right? They run away from their losses. They are too afraid to confront their mistakes and their subconscious forces. And as a result, they just keep on getting the same results over and over again, and nothing ever changes. And 1 week later, when I finally get back onto the charts, the first trade that I took was on GJ, right? That was the trade that I make about 21 to 22K. Now, once again, I didn't trade so that I could make back the money that I've lost. I was just fully focused on executing my plan, right? And as a result, I managed to find like an extremely high probability trade setup, right? Because of the fact that I was patient all week and I did not take any bunch of like low quality setups whatsoever. And I was just extremely picky in terms of like the trades that I was choosing to execute on. Okay, we are in the building, people. Finally found a good high probability A+ setup after 1 week. After 1 week of not seeing anything from this bullshit market, we finally got our setup, alright? So what happened right here was that if you look at the higher time frame, obviously bullish, right? The 4-hour swing range has not changed whatsoever. We're still within this range right here. Bullish break of structure to the upside. And then if I go down to my medium time frame, I can see that the internal order flow, or medium order flow in this case, is also bullish, right? Since price is creating higher highs and higher lows. So as much as possible, we want to be buying at this higher low right here. Okay, that is where price actually came down there, mitigated this demand, right? Printed like a new higher low right here before pushing to the upside. But in this case, this swing high failed to take out this low right here, or rather this high right here. So we didn't got a bullish break of structure, right? So this could be like the first sign that tells us that the structure could potentially shift bearish, but that is not confirmed until price is able to take out this low right here. If price is not able to take out this low, then technically we are still bullish, right? Since we are still within this range right here. Okay, so right now price is pretty much pulled back to that low. Remember that smart money has to engineer liquidity before we can get the push to the upside. And how do they engineer liquidity? They do it by manipulating the markets. They do it by inducing retail traders and getting them to enter early, right? The baits, the noobs. Okay, so in this case right here, what do we have? We got price coming down here, mitigating this zone right here. This is the first time that all the retail traders are entering for a buy thinking that price push up. Bam, wrong. And next thing you know, okay, retail traders thinking that price is going to go up. Okay, it's going to go up right now since price has already came down, swept this low, right? Bam, wrong. Price came down there, swept the strong low before pushing price up. Now, why is this a strong low? You must understand that if you go down to the lower time frame, what do we have? We actually got a fractal market shift right here, right? So this is actually a fake market shift since price did not do this. Instead, it came down, liquidated this strong low right here. Okay, so in this case, fake market shift, liquidation. This is pretty much one of our entry models that we have inside the 1% club. And the price came down here, also swept the liquidity from this swing low right here before pushing to the upside, right? So right now we pretty much got all our confluence right here. Honestly, bro, a much better entry would be somewhere right around here. When price actually came down, liquidated this strong low, print the liquidation candle, and then place my buy stop order right above it. And then I just place my stop loss below it. And then the risk to reward will be much better as well, right? But honestly, no excuses, right? It's still a pretty decent risk to reward right here. What the hell just happened? We literally woke up this morning and I was quite surprised to see my TP hit on MetaTrader 4. And then I go onto the charts and I realized, yo, we went into like a huge collapse right after we hit TP. Like my take profit literally couldn't be more precise than this. You can see we managed to get out at the highest point before price starts collapsing like a bloody snowball. Oh my god, am I blessed or what? It feels so good to be winning again, man. Like genuinely, I know that this is just like a 1 to 2 hour trade and we just made like 20k on this trade, but it genuinely feels so good to win again. Because last week we were down back to back. We lost one trade, cool. We lost another trade, cool. We lost another trade. So we were just constantly slammed from losses after losses, and it genuinely felt like the market was slapping me in the face over and over again, telling me that I'm a bitch, right? But then this week, you know, we continued showing up, we continued executing our plan, and we won. So that was a pretty decent trade, but to be honest, I'm the type of guy that obsesses over every single detail, right? So I honestly felt like the entry could have been a lot better, and I could have probably gotten like a much higher risk to reward ratio, right? But once again, this is a lesson that I can put down inside my trading journal so that I can actually refine my entry strategy in the future, right? So that I have the data points to actually refer to. And that's really what trading is about. And maybe that's why I'm so profitable, right? Because I'm so anal about all these tiny little details. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, that was a pretty simple setup. You know, I executed the trade without hesitation, without overthinking, without guesswork whatsoever. You know, liquidity was swept. The setup matched my A+ criteria. And I just executed it and I just banked 22k. Easy, locked in. Now let's move on to the next trade, which is a game changer. That's the big boy win right there. What happened was that price came up there, right? Mitigate this supply zone. And bear in mind that this is not an ordinary supply zone, right? This supply swept these highs that we have up here, right? So this is a supply zone that swept liquidity. And then it also led to a break of structure that we have to the downside as well, right? So this is obviously the next point of interest that price is gravitating towards, before creating like another low all the way down here, right? Before continuing with this bearish order flow right here. So quite simply put, our bread and butter setup, we wait for price to mitigate the point of interest. Didn't go in right here, right? Because we're not impatient, brokey losers. We are wise, we are disciplined, we are focused. We have developed the quality of equanimity. Alright, so didn't enter right here, no, because I'm not dumb. Didn't enter right here again because I'm not dumb as well. And then waited for price to liquidate those equal highs that we have right there. Then boom, got the liquidation candle, and we entered right upon the liquidation candle itself. How is it still within this consolidation right here? Like, look at this. Okay, but I got a feeling, right, that price will break out to the downside and about to hit TP. Looks like it's straight to the TP, right? So for all the haters and naysayers watching this, hoping that my trade hit stop loss and I lose my hard-earned money, you're wrong, buddy. It's gonna go hit TP and I'm gonna be laughing at a broke ass after this. That's what I'm talking about, man. Patience pays off. Patience makes profits. 25 bands in June? Oh! Good old 30 pips, right? Nothing too crazy, just 30 pips. Just letting the trade do its thing, letting it breathe, right? If I don't take profit here, price can just chop around here, or I have to hold the trade overnight. Like, I have to hold the trade overnight to see price hitting this take profit, because I genuinely just wanted to go to sleep right now. I can't see defeat today, man. I'm not waiting for this shit anymore. Right now, we're about 35k. I'm just gonna take it. I'm so sick of like just waiting for price to go all the way down there, and like price seems to be like chopping around. It's gonna be quite slow again and shit. So I'm just gonna close all my positions before I sleep, right? Don't really want to hold it overnight anymore. At least not for today. So close everything right there. Bro, it kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks not seeing our trade hit TP. We managed to close this trade at like, what, 2.4R, 2.5R, right? Like 2.5R-ish. So, made about 36k on this trade. It is what it is. I'm just so tired on this shit, man. Yeah, like, price action is just not ideal in June, bro. Like, it's generally just not ideal in June, right? But like I said, I'll take anything the market gives me in this period of time, man. So, there you have it, lads. It's been so long since I shared with you guys, but we made about 36k today. I'd rather end of this month profitable and getting something than ending of this month red, right? So, I'm genuinely like, right here, willing to take anything from the market. Like, I'm just devouring shit for breakfast right now, and I'm okay with it. Nah, just kidding. Now, I waited an entire week for this one setup itself. As you can see, at this point of time, after losing 30k in the first week, I was super duper picky in terms of the trades that I want to be executing on, right? So as a result, I only wanted to trade like those super duper A+ high probability setups, which checks off every single box within my trade plan itself. And this was one of those trades, right? And inside the live trading video, I mentioned that I risk 1% per trade, but in reality, I actually risked 1.5% on this trade itself because, like I said, it's such an extreme high probability A+ setup, right? So I had to. And it paid off massively. So I ended up making about 36k on this trade itself. But oh my god, I could have made 100k on this trade. Because right after I went to sleep, a few hours later, price collapsed massively afterwards. And when I wake up, I realized that, shit man, this could be a super duper big boy trade. But yeah, I took profit manually. Honestly, it was kind of because of fear, right? Because I was scared of losing the money that I've made so far, right? And I just didn't want it to end off the month rate. So I was like, I'm gonna take everything that I can get from the market itself. But yeah, this big win also showed me how much a psychology still plays a role even after a win just like this, right? Because like I said, it could have been a much bigger win, but because of the fact that I was still attached to what went wrong in the past, I failed to reach my fullest potential on this trade itself. So in total, I made about 58k in just 2 trades, and we managed to end off the month making around 27k, right? Factoring in broker fees, slippage, and spreads, all that stuff. Once again, it's not 6 figures, right? Because like I said, at the start of this year, my goal is to make 6 figures every single month. And I have been crushing that goal on my second channel. But yeah, this month, 27k, but I'll take it, right? Cash is cash. Like I said, I just don't want to end off a month rate. Now, with that said, I just want to say that there is nothing wrong with ending off a month rate. Just because your P&L is negative this month does not mean that you are not consistently profitable, right? Because you just remember that if you are profitable every single quarter at the end of each year, then you should be fine. You are considered as a consistently profitable trader. You don't need to be profitable every single month. I just like it for my ego, I guess. Now, understand that I didn't chase the 58k. I didn't overtrade whatsoever. Instead, I actually reduced the frequency that I traded. Right? You can see the first week, I took 3 trades. And then the following week, I took 1 trade. And then the following week, I took another 1 trade. Right? Because, like I said, it's not about trading more. Right? It's about making the right decisions. It's about making sure that you are capitalizing on the A+ setups that have an asymmetric risk to reward ratio. And that's how you can genuinely become monumentally successful at trading. So if you're tired of emotional trading, you want a system that keeps you disciplined and focused and aligned with your edge, Edgeflow is built for that. So this is a trading super app that I've been quietly building behind the scenes since the start of this year itself. It allows you to do your pre-market routine, your trading routine, and also your post-market routine, everything in one app itself. It's gonna be able to allow you to journal your trades, compute your risk per trade, and a bunch of like cool features like an AI trading coach and all that stuff, all in one place. Quite simply put, this will be your trading operating system. Now we are launching very, very soon, later this year or even at the start of next year. But early access is extremely limited. So if you want to be part of the first wave, just join the waitlist below. Just click like the first link in the description and go to the website and just put your email in there, and we'll let you know, we'll inform you when Edgeflow is ready. So there you have it, lads. This was my worst trading month this year, but maybe it's the most important one, right? It's the one where like the market humbled me and I learned so much lessons from just those 3 losses itself. And sometimes you do need months like this, right? So you can actually get better, right? Like you have to take 1 step back so you can move 2 steps forward. So if this video has helped you in any way, shape or form, right, you like to see these live trade breakdown videos, just like this video and just comment down below and just let me know what is your biggest lesson that you have taken away from this video itself. And when you're done, check out my next video where I show you how to actually master trading in 2025. This is a full trading masterclass that takes you from beginner to advanced. And as always, remember, you're just 1 trade away.